Hey YouTube, what is going on? Thanks for checking out the Straight SRT YouTube channel, where we discuss all things SRT related. In today's video, we're going to discuss how to improve the drivability of your SRT. So it won't be a video on doing mods to the car like they usually are. It's going to be more about improving the drivability. So we do that through a variety of different areas. One's going to be improving the tires on your vehicle. We're going to discuss how to drive and what driving techniques can help reduce the amount of accidents you're going to get into, and to avoid the risk on the road, and to make sure you are driving as safe as possible. We're going to discuss economy. We're going to discuss cruise control, engine braking, tons of different topics, all addressed to improve the drivability of the SRT. So right now I'm on the road headed back from work. I want to discuss safety on the road. So if you are driving down the expressway, down a thruway, down the highway, or in city streets, if there are ever 3 lanes to choose from, you usually want to choose either the left lane or the right lane, because that reduces your risk for an accident. So on the right hand lane, you had the risk of the cars in front of you and behind you and to the left. In the middle lane, you had the risk of cars in front, behind, to the left, and to the right. And on the left hand lane, you had the risk of cars from your right, your front, and your back. So typically, by being in the middle lane, you are surrounded by more cars, therefore more risk. Also, in the middle lane, there's nowhere to go if there's an accident. If you gotta stop abruptly, there's nowhere for your car to go. So you want to try and stay in the left-hand lane or the right-hand lane. That way, in case there is an accident or an abrupt stop, you can pull to the side and pull over instead of being stuck in your lane. Now, this is also very true for winter scenarios. So if there's sleet on the road, if there's ice on the road, if there's snow on the road, or a lot of water on the road, I try and avoid the middle lane as well. Now when it comes to more city traffic for stop and go, I also avoid getting too close to the car in front of me at a red light or a stop sign stop. If you're at a red light and there's a lot of snow and it's hard to try and stop your car, you want to assume the guy behind you or the girl behind you can't stop their vehicle. So always leave a nice buffer space of 10 or so feet in front of you at the stoplight. That way, in case they can't stop or can't slow down fast enough, you can move your car further ahead at the red light and avoid having an accident by getting rear-ended. Now when it comes to drivability not on the highway, I want to talk about your tires. So the tires and the SRTs are horrible. They are run-flat tires as a stock option, and that run-flat driving allows you to get stiffer sidewalls, which means less body roll, makes the car drive more like a coupe. It's very firm, very tight steering, but the wideness of our tires means they're going to adhere to the wideness of the tire grooves in the road from a semi-truck. So by doing that, you're going to follow those tracks from a semi like a train on tracks, and it's going to be very hard to pull out of that groove. It's going to take your car and kind of jerk it to the left and to the right, and make it very hard and very uncomfortable to drive your SRT. So for that reason alone, I highly recommend not buying run-flat tires for your SRTs. At the end of itself, it's going to make a massive improvement, and that is covered in my top 5 mods, or top 5 must mods for Mopars. I do discuss tires in there if you want more detail. Alright, so far we discussed tires, discussed reducing accidents. Also, when you're on the road, you want to make sure that you maintain your peripherals when you're driving your vehicle and when you're passing by other cars, which means do not stay in the blind spot of another car next to you. So if you have a motorcycle license, they recommend driving a little bit faster than oncoming traffic. So if everyone's going 70 miles an hour, you want to try and go 71. The same logic applies to vehicles. If you're stagnant in someone's peripherals, they're not going to see it changing. However, if there's constant movement, we are naturally and subconsciously drawn to that movement of the peripheral. So if you're constantly going past someone or moving past someone on the road, they're going to be aware of where you are as you're moving. So it's always a great idea to try and go a little bit faster than the traffic around you, to guarantee that A, you know where they are as you pass them, and B, they're aware of where you are on the road. Now, actually, as I'm doing this video, there are 2 SRTs in front of me right now. We got a Charger and a Challenger. I may try and race one of these guys while I'm in this video. Now, the whole point is not to race anyone, but what happens, it happens. Alright, so next is cruise control. So our cars have 2 forms of cruise control. We have adaptive and non-adaptive. So the adaptive cruise control obviously slows your car down as you get closer to the cars in front of you, and the non-adaptive does the opposite. It keeps you going at a constant speed. They both serve their purpose, but both are a great option for improving fuel economy. I don't know if you guys hear there or not, but this guy's trying to the race. I might need to make a quick pause and race this guy. Let's see. Alright, well, while I wait for the guy to catch me, oh, here he is. Right next to me. Let's see. Guess not. Here's another one. This is a Charger. Daytona. Nah. That's unfortunate. Maybe. Hold on. I promise this whole point of the video was to discuss improving drivability, not racing cars, but when you get two cars next to you that both have the same engine you do, and they're all SRTs, you kind of want to go for it and have some fun. Oh, I'm driving slow though. Just lost in that little race. The Grand Cherokees are definitely not known for their top end. We have a whole lot of mass. We're great out of a dig. Not so great when you're already going 70 miles an hour. Anyway, I apologize for that quick little race there. I saw the guy behind me had his phone not recording the race. Anyway, alright, back to cruise control. So when you're on the throughway and you're using cruise control, you're at a constant throttle. So gas engines are much more efficient at constant RPMs than they are at varying RPMs, which means during acceleration you burn a ton more gas than you do at constant speeds, which is why city gas mileage is much worse than highway gas mileage. That being said, on cruise control, again, you got steady throttle, but when you're using, put the car back in auto mode, when you're using your own foot to try and control your throttle and your speed, you're kind of pushing down the throttle, letting go, pushing, letting go, pushing, letting go. And by doing that, you're accelerating, decelerating, accelerating, decelerating. So that change in throttle position and that acceleration and deceleration is actually going to burn more gas than cruise control would. Not only that, but when you are using cruise control, you also get the option for adaptive cruise control, which again is also going to burn the same amount of fuel. Well, it'll burn less fuel than your foot would when trying to use cruise control. But when you have your foot off the gas, you're actually using engine braking. So you're using the car to kind of slow you down, and more specifically using the engine to slow you down. So the engine braking gives you 99 miles per gallon, but in reality it gives you infinity miles per gallon. When your foot is off the throttle, the car is moving under its own momentum, and you actually have the fuel cut off to your engine. So you're using absolutely zero fuel at that point in time. So some guys ask the question of, is it worth putting the car in neutral when I'm trying to cruise versus having it be in drive? So when you're in neutral, you're going to burn gas because your car is idling. When you have the car slowing you down, aka the engine slowing you down, engine braking, you're actually going to use no gas at all, but it's going to slow your car down faster and increase your deceleration rate because you're using the engine to slow you down. So a quick test, if you want to figure out what's more efficient for you in your particular scenario, is to monitor your instant MPG. So put your car in neutral, monitor it, and then have your foot off the gas and use the engine to slow you down and monitor it. In most cases, you're actually gonna have the engine braking. It's gonna be more fuel efficient than it will be having your car in neutral. Discussing that, I also want to talk about improving security when you're on the road and when you are in a parking spot. So I always recommend back into parking spots. You never want to pull in. If you have a dash cam, you obviously always want to back in. I know I have a dash cam, and I very highly recommend having a dash cam. Through all my previous vehicles, they've all been involved in accidents in which I wasn't in the car. It was parked either in a street or in a parking lot, and someone hit the car and drove off. So dash cams are a great option to record that, the way you're not covering it under your own insurance. Furthermore, if you have a dash cam that even monitors the back of your car, it has to look through all the back, through the back windshield, and then it can't really see low because it's all being covered up by the back of your car. Having it in the front allows you to see license plates, that way in case you get a hit and run, you're covered through the video footage. So definitely back in, definitely buy a dash cam. Next thing is always, or at least I always recommend having a radar detector. Now I'm not saying I'm constantly racing or speeding, but it's a great way to make sure that if you are speeding, you get more of a heads up before you get a ticket. So if you have that radar detector, it'll be nice to know there's a cop in front of you that has his radar pointed at you, that way you can slow down and not get a speeding ticket. Now I know in some countries, in some states, you're not allowed to have it. In New York State you are, which is why I have one, and I highly recommend it if you can have one. Alright guys, so my GoPro battery died, so I'm using my phone now. Sorry for the change up. I did want to get a video, at least I'll show you guys a dash cam video footage of that race we just did, but I'll show the license plate, so I'm also going to try and do that. Won't be fair. Anyway, I got smoked. MDS quick. I do want to discuss the MDS because, like I mentioned before, the stock exhaust system doesn't do a very good job of hiding the MDS drone. It's very annoying, it's very bassy, rumbly, and the car just doesn't sound very loud to get on there. And also the way it drives isn't, I'm not a huge fan of it. Anyway, I have mine turned off. The MDS is annoying to me. It isn't worth the MPG savings in my opinion. But if you do like the MDS system, which is fine, and you do want to improve that noise, I do know that the Solo Performance exhaust gives you that nice growl. Also has the adjustable J-tips to eliminate that MDS drone. So before I turned my MDS off, I actually tuned it very, very well and removed almost all the MDS drone associated with being an MDS, while still allowing that nice V8 sound to come through. So if you do like MDS and you want to get rid of that drone sound, consider upgrading your exhaust. You don't need to use Solo Performance. That's what I have, that's what I like. Whatever one is up to you. Anyway, I apologize for waiting a month to post another video. I have a lot going on. I'm trying to post more as soon as I can. Sometimes, life gets in the way and things get delayed. Anyway, thanks for checking out the video. If you guys like this kind of content, go ahead hit that subscribe button. That's right there on your screen. I have a ton more content on the way. I just got finished editing everything and posting it. May take a minute, but I appreciate your attendance. Also, if you guys wouldn't mind subscribing, I'm asking again because I need 1,000 subscribers to make any kind of money on the channel. So the more money I make, the more money I put into the channel, the better videos I get, and so on and so forth. It gives you guys better content. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and I'll get more videos to you as soon as I can. Thanks.